time to get down to brass tacks. There's some stuff in Battlefield 6 that just straight up needs to change. And I'm sure you guys have noticed some things during your playtime. As you know, I've been putting a ton of time into the game, trying to get you guys content, trying to do all these live commentaries, and as you play, right, you notice some things, and, you know, then they get a little old, and then you get pissed off, and you're like, well, have the developers talked about this? Then you look for something, and it's, oh, no, they haven't said anything. Or maybe the change just hasn't come out yet. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that are pissing me off the most about Battlefield 6 and why I think this needs to change. So this should be a fun video. I'm sure I won't yell at all. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and of course swing by the streams. Guys, I have a $650,000 tournament on December 10th. I'm going to have exclusive Twitch drops so you can earn cool, unique items in Battlefield 6 on my Twitch stream. So be sure to follow the stream, first link in the description. It's going to be nuts. The first thing I want to talk about is something that I've been mentioning since the beta of Battlefield 6, and that is the fact that headshots don't do anything in this game. Have you noticed the tone shift? This does not make me very happy. Of course, I will demonstrate the fact that some of the headshot ammo just simply doesn't do anything for the weapons later, but, you know, from a design perspective, I think the only reason they've lowered the headshot multiplier is to justify adding headshot multiplier ammo types like hollow point and like synthetic tip. But it's a little bit more malicious than that, in my opinion. Because if you look at the default headshot multiplier of 1.34, and then you look at hollow point, which is 1.5, and then you look at synthetic tip, which is 1.75, they all have something in common. They're just barely too low to make a difference on any of the damage models. Like, look at this, bro. We're gonna take this, what is this, the L85, we're going on the test range. Okay, fine, look. So, 1, 2, 3 headshots, 1, 2, 3, 4 headshots, and then, you know, 4 to that range as well. Let's equip hollow point. So what does this take? 1, 2, 3? Still takes 3. Still takes 4. So it still takes 4 that range too. 1, 2, yep, 30 damage, so it's gonna take 4. So hollow point's fucking worthless. And then synthetic costs 30 points. 30, 3-0, okay? 3-shot headshot, and it basically just makes it a 3-shot headshot at every range. But who's hitting a 3-shot headshot spray at 80 meters with an assault rifle? I mean, you could argue, oh, I'm gonna tap fire, but like, it doesn't even make body shot differences. Like, you know, the damage just doesn't really work for this damage model. Like, if you're gonna use any of this headshot ammo, you have to have a weapon like the AK-4D that actually like takes advantage of the 33 damage model, right? Because this takes the super slow fire rate weapon and it changes its like 3 headshots to kill BTK, and it makes it a 2-shot headshot. Like, that's actually viable. That's really good. I do run hollow point on the AK-4D because of that. But again, it only really makes a difference within the specific range of the 33 damage model. So all these 25 damage models, all these 20 damage models, it's just ass. Like, DICE, you need to increase the headshot multiplier to 1.8 and then get rid of headshot ammo. But I highly doubt that will ever happen. So just for consistency's sake, the headshot multiplier stuff needs to change, but I really don't think it will. They will actually have to rebalance like a lot of the damage models, and they'll have to get rid of 2 attachments in the game, and we all know that's not going to happen. So Battlefield 6 will likely go through its entire lifespan with this weird, unsatisfying 0 headshot damage gameplay unless you sacrifice 30 points of your weapon for like unbelievably situational benefits, I guess. The next thing I've really been fed up with, and I think a lot of people will resonate with this, is that recoil, quote-unquote, mechanic that's currently in the game. That is essentially changing your effective sensitivity when you are tracking somebody left or right, because you're feeling resistance on one side, and then I guess it's pushing your aim on the other side. That just needs to be fucking deleted. I don't understand how there's any debate at all regarding this. I don't understand how this hasn't been fucking hotfixed out of the game. This is ridiculous. Under no circumstances should recoil ever be affecting your input. Thankfully, at the time of recording this video, Drunksy did say this on Twitter. He basically said that they'll get it fixed and that it's a pretty complex issue, but they were already cooking some improvements for this until it is, quote, 100% fixed. Hey guys, can you guys do me a favor? Can we get passionate about this and hold them accountable? Like, if it's not 100% fixed, we actually need to continue to complain. I don't need any fucking thing where it's like 90% fixed and the majority of people are going, oh, well, you know, it's almost fixed. Why are you complaining still? No. You don't get off the hook that fucking easy. They said 100%. So this needs to be fixed. The next thing that I'm sure many of you, once again, are actively annoyed with is the netcode, the desync, dying around corners, weird interactions with players that seems like they saw you before you saw them type of thing. This has been mentioned by DICE in community posts. They are actively working on it. We don't really have any sort of details as to what they're working on or when to expect fixes. I did reach out to Battle Nonsense, who of course is essentially synonymous with Battlefield and netcode. And the summary of what Battle Nonsense said to me is basically it's a networking problem and the developers need to fix it. So there you go. These last two subjects I want to talk about are things that I've just noticed during my playtime. Number one, snipers in this game are just astronomically busted, all right? I don't think people are ready for the conversation as to just how nerfed these snipers need to get. Let's start off with the sweet spot, just gifting people accidental kills. I don't know if I've ever had more accidental kills with a sniper rifle than I've had in Battlefield 6. I mean, it happens so often. I think it's because the sweet spots are balanced for ranges that are just so common. Using the M2010 ESR, I'm almost always 80 to 100 meters away from somebody, and if I body shot them, they just die because of the sweet spot. Then if I want a closer range sweet spot, I use the SV98. What is it, like 40 meters? That's another common range. Add the sweet spot on top of incredibly high muzzle velocities of over 1,000 meters per second regularly, actually 1,100 meters per second for the Mini Scout, which doesn't make any sense. How does the Mini Scout have higher velocity than the M2010 ESR or the PSR? But let's not get sidetracked. Then you add on top of this the fact that snipers have long range ammo, which essentially just makes sniping even easier from range because it just makes it have less bullet drop. Then, this is not even the end of it. You can bind your aim down sights key to automatically zero to any range, so you don't even have to manually account for bullet drop if you're using the rangefinder. How easy does sniping need to be? Like, I understand this game is most certainly on the more casual side of Battlefield games when it comes to skill gap and whatever, but this is a little crazy. I get maybe they want to make sniping a little easier because the Battle Royale is free to play. I could see that angle, but even then, this is nuts. The sniping in Battlefield 6 is even more overpowered than the sniping in Battlefield 1. And I never thought I would say that ever. And the last topic is a bit of a sensitive one. I understand people are going to have some opinions on this, but you know, it's good. It's good to discuss things, and it needs to be talked about because this particular topic isn't mentioned nearly enough, and it is a massive problem in my opinion, and it has to do with controller balance. Now, I'm not talking about aim assist. I actually don't even think aim assist should even be mentioned here because after the changes, you know, it is what it is. It's not the main issue. The main issue with controller in this game is the fact that controller gets 25% less recoil. And yes, I can already read the comments. Enders, have you ever used a controller? Oh, it's harder to control recoil on controller versus mouse and keyboard and all this stuff. I disagree. I actually disagree. I think controlling a recoil on controller is just fine. Literally fucking pull your thumb down. Alright, yes, I have played controller actually more than I've played mouse and keyboard. It's not that difficult. I'm sorry, it's just not. And 25% less recoil just for playing on a different input is insane in this game. The gunplay is laser beam gunplay, right? So when you give an input device 25% less recoil, that basically means, number one, they can run different attachments. Number two, they can beam out to distance easier with full auto weapons. Number three, for certain weapon types, it actually means they can shoot them faster, more accurately. Let me explain. If you're a controller player using a DMR, let's say you're using the SVK or the M39 EMR, because you have less recoil, you have better recoil reset, which means your crosshair returns to screen center faster after shooting a shot, which means you can shoot faster, more accurately with DMRs. that is obviously incredibly strong in the Battle Royale and just in general. And my solution to this is very simple. I don't think this will ever happen, but I think objectively this is the correct course of action. I think they need to remove the recoil reduction. I'm not talking about reduce it. I'm talking about delete it. Having an input device have less recoil compared to mouse and keyboard is actually not normal. It's extremely abnormal. It does not work like this in Call of Duty. In fact, the only game that I think has lower recoil for controller that I can name off the top of my head is, I think, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on console. But at least that game is understandable, right? Like, PUBG's recoil is insane. It's insane. Of course you have to reduce the recoil. They would never be able to play the fucking game on controller if you didn't. The same cannot be said for Battlefield. Battlefield games traditionally really don't have much recoil whatsoever. So get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I think that would be great. I think it would actually increase the skill gap on controller. I think better players would actually benefit from this. But, you know, this isn't something I expect them to do. In fact, I would probably bet money that they would never, ever, ever do this in a million years. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't. So let me know what you guys think about all this stuff in the comment section. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the sub button and hit the like button. Let me know your experiences and your, I guess, complaints with Battlefield 6 or just some things that you've noticed. Swing by the stream. Don't want to miss the $650,000 tournament on December 10th. Follow the Twitch stream, and of course I'll be streaming it on YouTube as well. Join the Discord, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. All links are in the description. And again, thank you guys so much for everything and for watching.